Many car mods are illegal and banned in the US, but there are actually legal car mods that allow your engine to run 10 times better. But here's the twist. Mechanics and car manufacturers hide these mods from you. From gaining more horsepower to improving gas mileage. These are the 15 hidden legal car mods that can improve your car. Don't skip, because one of these can prevent thousands in expensive engine repairs. Let's dive in. Secret number 15, high-flow air filter upgrade. Let's start with something that sounds basic, but works like magic. Most people think air filters are just there to keep dirt out. But here's what they don't tell you. Your factory paper filter is choking your engine to death, one breath at a time. A high-flow air filter, and I'm talking K&N, AEM, or S&B, not some eBay knockoff, lets your engine actually breathe. The foundation of any great performance build starts with improving airflow. And this is step one. I've seen Honda Civics pick up 5 to 8 horsepower and actually improve fuel economy by 2-3 mpg just from swapping the paper filter. But here's the kicker. These filters are washable and reusable. One good filter outlasts 10 paper ones and pays for itself in 2 years. Here's where people screw up though. They soak it in oil like they're deep frying chicken. Too much oil fouls your MAF sensor faster than you can say check engine light. You've got better air coming in. But here's the thing. What good is fresh air if your engine's brain doesn't know what to do with it? Secret number 14, ECU remap done right. Your engine is capable of way more power than your ECU allows. But here's what manufacturers don't want you to know. They're playing it ultra conservative for warranty claims and emissions, not for your driving experience. A proper ECU remap is like giving your engine a shot of adrenaline, sharper throttle response, optimized fuel curves, better timing. I've tuned bone stock engines that felt like completely different machines afterward. The power was always there, just locked away by conservative programming. But here's the catch. Don't you dare use some $40 USB dongle from a forum. I've seen guys brick their ECUs trying to save money. Use legit platforms, HP tuners for GM, Ford, Dodge, Cobb access port for Subaru, Mazda, Hondata for Honda, Acura, and get it tuned by someone who actually knows what a dyno is. This isn't a video game. You're rewriting the brain of your car, now that your engine's brain is optimized. But here's the thing. It needs to exhale properly instead of choking on its own breath. Secret number 13, performance exhaust system. Ever try breathing through a straw? That's what your engine deals with on a stock exhaust. Restricted flow, heat buildup, wasted power sitting there begging to be unleashed. A proper performance exhaust system, not some fart can special, sets your engine free. Better flow, less back pressure, real horsepower gains. I've installed full systems on everything from Camaros to WRXs to old Civics. Every time, the motor breathes easier. Pair it with a tune, and now you're talking business. But here's where rookies mess up. Buying the loudest thing they can find. Too big a pipe kills your low-end torque. No scavenging, no velocity, just noise. Stick with mandrel bent tubing, stainless steel if you've got the budget, and quality welds that won't rattle apart in a week. Keep your resonators unless you want cabin drone drumming in your skull every highway mile. This isn't about being loud, it's about being efficient. Your engine's exhaling better, but what if we could feed it the coldest, densest air possible? Secret number 12, cold air intake done right. This one's tricky. Cold air intakes get hyped to hell, and 90% of them are garbage. Every kid with a socket set thinks slapping on a shiny pipe makes them a race engineer. Most are just sucking hot engine bay air and losing power. But here's the truth. A properly designed cold air intake, sealed off and pulling fresh, dense air from outside the heat zone. That's a real upgrade. I installed one on a 6th gen Camaro with proper heat shielding and fender well scoop. Paired with a tune, picked up 10-15 wheel horsepower. Not bad for bolt-on work done right. But here's where folks screw it up. They buy a generic pipe off eBay, throw it near the exhaust manifold, and wonder why their car feels sluggish. It's not about looks, it's about air temperature. Cooler air packs more oxygen. More oxygen means better combustion. Simple physics that actually works. And don't ignore your MAF sensor placement. Relocate it wrong and your AFRs go haywire. Cold air coming in. But what if I told you we could make the engine spin easier too? Secret number 11, lightweight pulley kit. Most people chase horsepower and forget about freeing it up. But here's what they don't tell you. Lightweight pulleys are the secret sauce nobody talks about. Your engine spends energy spinning belts all day. Alternator, power steering, water pump. The heavier those pulleys, the more power your engine wastes just turning its own accessories. Swap them for lightweight aluminum or underdrive pulleys, and boom, less rotational drag. The engine revs quicker, feels snappier. Not more horsepower, but more usable power. I put a full set on an old 350Z. Felt like I shaved 200 pounds off the crank. Throttle response was instant, downshifts hit harder. No ECU tune needed, just pure mechanical advantage. But here's the catch. Don't go too light on the crank pulley and throw off the harmonic balance. That can wreck your bearings or snap a crankshaft over time. This isn't a lawnmower. Balance matters. Stick with proven brands like Unorthodox Racing or ATI. Engines spinning easier. But here's the thing. All that effort is worthless if your spark is weak. If you made it this far, we'll appreciate it if you hit that like button. We got 10 more mods you'd be shocked by on how much it can improve car reliability and gas mileage. Secret number 10, upgraded spark plugs and ignition coils. You can have all the air and fuel in the world, but if your spark's weak, you're dead in the water. But here's what most people miss. Upgrading spark plugs and coils is the most overlooked performance mod out there. Cleaner burn, stronger ignition, more efficient combustion. On tuned engines, it's absolutely mandatory. I did a coil and plug swap on a modded GTI that was misfiring at high RPMs. Threw in NGK Iridium plugs and R8 coils. Misfires gone, throttle sharpened, smoother idle. Felt like a new car. But here's where people get cute and mess up. They play with heat ranges without knowing what they're doing. If you're boosted, go 1 or 2 steps colder. Stock engine? Stay with OEM spec or upgrade to Iridium for longevity. And don't mix-match junk coils from 5 different eBay sellers. You'll chase ghost codes for weeks and waste more money than buying quality parts once. Strong sparks handling the fire, but let's be honest. We need to control the timing of that fire with some serious mechanical upgrades. Secret number 9, performance camshaft. This one's for the naturally aspirated crowd who want real mechanical power, not just bolt-on fluff. A performance cam is your engine's heartbeat. It controls when valves open, how long they stay open, and how much air gets in and out. Even a mild cam upgrade, properly matched with springs and lifters, can unlock 30-40 horsepower in the right setup. Throttle response sharpens, rev range widens, and the engine finally comes alive with that wicked exhaust note that lets people know you don't mess around. But here's where rookies screw up constantly. They slap in a big cam without checking the valve train. Wrong springs, bent push rods, too much lift. Piston meets valve, game over. And don't even think about a cam swap without a tune. Your ECU will have no idea what hit it, and your idle will hunt around like a lost bloodhound. Use proven brands like Comp Cams or Texas Speed. Cam's got your valves dancing, but here's the kicker. Let's keep that intake track clean before oil vapor turns it into a tar pit. Secret number 8, oil catch can. Ever pulled an intake manifold off a direct injection engine at 40,000 miles? Looks like someone dumped barbecue sauce in there. Thick, black, greasy carbon choking everything up. But here's what they don't tell you. That nastiness comes from crankcase blowby. Oil vapor getting recycled back into your intake. Modern emissions systems make it worse, especially on DI engines. An oil catch can is cheap, simple, and one of the best long-term mods you can do. It catches oil mist before it hits your valves, keeps the intake clean, improves combustion, gives your engine a lung transplant. I cracked open a GTI catch can after 6,000 miles. Half a cup of nasty black soup that would have gone straight to the intake valves. Not on my watch. But here's the catch. Don't run some knockoff Amazon can with no baffles. That's just a soda can with fittings. Look at JLT, Mishimoto, or Radium and actually empty the damn thing regularly. Engine's breathing clean, but all that performance means nothing if it overheats and cooks itself. Secret number 7, aluminum radiator upgrade. Let me tell you what kills more engines than bad tunes and redline abuse combined: heat. I've seen head gaskets pop like popcorn because someone thought their stock plastic radiator was fine until it cracked in summer traffic and cooked the motor. But here's the truth. An aluminum radiator isn't just about cooling, it's about protection. More core rows, better flow, superior heat dissipation. Whether you're boosted, cammed, or just drive hard, this mod will save your engine's life. I installed a Mishimoto unit in a Turbo Civic. Car used to hit 215 degrees on hard pulls. After the swap, 185 degrees all day, even in gridlock traffic. No more heat soak, no more limp mode. Just consistent temperatures that keep your engine happy. But here's what most people miss. Don't stop at the radiator. Replace those old rubber hoses, check your thermostat, make sure your fans are doing their job. Cooling is a system, not a single part swap. And bleed it right. Don't leave air pockets. Aluminum radiators also handle pressure cycles better than plastic end tank units. Factory radiators often fail where the plastic meets the aluminum core. Thermal expansion differences cause stress cracks. All aluminum units expand and contract as one piece, eliminating that weak point. Core thickness matters too. A 2-row aluminum radiator often outcools a 3-row plastic unit because aluminum transfers heat more efficiently. Don't just count rows. Look at overall surface area and fin density. Quality units from Mishimoto, CSF, or Koyo engineer the whole package for maximum heat transfer. Engines running cool. But if you're pushing boost, here's the thing. You need to respect that turbo. Secret number 6, turbo timer and boost controller. Boost is beautiful, but it's dangerous if you don't respect it. First off, turbo timer. I don't care if you're running stock PSI or big numbers. Shut the engine off right after a hard pull, and that turbo sits there red hot with oil cooked inside the bearings. You just murdered its lifespan. A turbo timer lets the engine idle for a minute after shutdown, keeps oil flowing, lets the turbo cool down properly. I've had turbos last 120,000 plus miles just because the timer did its job. Simple protection that costs less than one turbo replacement. Now boost controller, manual or electronic. This is how you command the pressure. Stock boost is fine for warranty driving, but when you want more grunt and your tune can handle it, a good controller lets you dial it in without spiking. But here's the kicker. Don't crank the dial unless the engine's built for it. I've seen pistons turned into ashtrays from overboosting on stock internals. Modern turbos actually run hotter than older units because they're more efficient and compact. The smaller housing retains more heat, making post-shutdown cooling even more critical. Some newer cars have electric water pumps that continue circulating coolant after shutdown. But oil circulation stops immediately. Electronic boost controllers offer features manual units can't match. Boost by gear, boost ramping, safety limits. You can set aggressive boost in first and second gear for launches, then dial it back in higher gears for reliability. Quality units from HKS, AEM, or TurboSmart include fail-safe features that prevent dangerous spikes. Commanding boost properly, but here's what they don't tell you. More air means nothing without fuel to back it up. Secret number 5, upgraded fuel injectors and pump. Ever see a car lean out under full throttle? 1 second it's pulling hard, next second, boom, hole in the piston, engine's done. Why? Not enough fuel to keep up with the demand. When you start tuning, boosting, camming, whatever, you better make sure your fuel system can keep up. Bigger injectors, higher flow pump. I had a built WRX hit fuel cut at 5,000 RPM until we swapped in ID1000s and a Walbro 255. After that, clean pulls to redline, no drama. Fuel is your safety net. Run lean and you're playing with fire. But here's where people mess up. Don't just slap in giant injectors for future plans. Too big and your idle goes to hell. AFRs are impossible to tune, and your tuner will hate you. Match the size to your build and goals. Use quality brands, Injector Dynamics, Detschwerks, AEM, Bosch, and always retune after fuel upgrades. Injector sizing follows a simple rule. Plan for 80% duty cycle at your power goal. Running injectors at 100% duty cycle is asking for trouble. They get hot, flow inconsistently, and can't compensate for fuel pressure fluctuations. Size them properly and they'll deliver consistent fuel even under extreme conditions. Fuel pump location matters more than people realize. In-tank pumps stay cooler and prime better, but external pumps flow more volume. Many high-power builds run both. The factory in-tank pump feeds an external unit for maximum flow and redundancy. Don't forget to upgrade your fuel lines and rails to match the pump capacity. Fuel systems dialed in, but all that hot compressed air needs to chill out before it does real work. Secret number 4, performance intercooler. You can have the biggest turbo in the world, But if your intake air is hot, your power's a joke. But here's what most people don't realize. A performance intercooler cools that compressed air before it hits the combustion chamber. Cooler air equals denser air. Denser air equals more oxygen. More oxygen equals more power. Stock intercoolers are built for emissions and economy, not power. They heat soak fast, especially after hard pulls or in warm weather. Once that happens, your ECU pulls timing, knock sensors panic, engine feels like it's dragging a trailer uphill. Swap in a larger front mount or upgraded top mount, and it's night and day. Lower intake temps, consistent power, no heat-soak tantrums. Go with proven brands: Mishimoto, Wagner Tuning, Garrett. Look at core size, bar and plate design, pressure drop ratings. Make sure it fits without blocking airflow to your radiator. But here's the kicker. This doesn't just add power, it protects your engine from detonation and keeps everything consistent. Core design affects everything. Bar and plate cores offer maximum cooling efficiency but create more pressure drop. Tube and fin cores flow better but don't cool as effectively. The best intercoolers balance both factors for your specific application and power level. Placement strategy varies by platform. Front mount intercoolers get the best ambient air but require piping changes and can block radiator airflow. Top mount units maintain shorter piping for better throttle response, but face more heat soak from the engine bay. Choose based on your priorities and driving style. Intercoolers keeping things cool, but here's where we separate the weekend warriors from the serious builders. Secret number 3, upgraded engine internals. This is where boys become men and credit cards cry. Forged pistons, connecting rods, stronger crankshafts. These aren't just power mods, they're survival gear for serious builds. Stock internals are fine for grocery getting, but start pushing real power and they'll tap out faster than a UFC fighter in a chokehold. Cast pistons become confetti, stock rods bend like pretzels, and your rotating assembly becomes expensive shrapnel scattered throughout your oil pan. Forged internals handle boost like a champ. Higher compression ratios, more aggressive timing, power levels that would kill stock parts without breaking a sweat. But here's the catch. This isn't a weekend garage project. You need machine work, balancing, professional assembly. Quality internals from Manley, CP Pistons, or Eagle cost serious money, but they're the foundation of any serious build. Forged pistons expand differently than cast ones, requiring different piston-to-wall clearances. They're noisier when cold, but handle heat and pressure exponentially better. H-beam rods are stronger than I-beam designs but cost more. Choose your parts based on power goals, not just because they look cool. Assembly tolerances become critical with performance internals. Bearing clearances, ring gaps, deck height. Everything needs precision. One mistake during assembly can turn expensive parts into expensive paperweights. This is where you pay a professional or learn to do it right yourself with proper tools and knowledge. Internals are bulletproofed, but there's one more secret that multiplies everything we've done so far. Secret number 2, methanol water injection. Here's the secret weapon that pro tuners don't advertise. Methanol injection is like giving your engine an ice-cold energy drink. It cools intake temps dramatically, prevents detonation, and allows more aggressive timing than pump gas could ever handle. The alcohol content provides internal cooling that lets you run higher boost or compression safely. Plus, methanol has a higher octane rating than race gas. We're talking 110 plus octane equivalent. I've seen turbo setups gain 30-50 horsepower just from adding a snow performance or AEM methanol kit. The engine runs cooler, knock sensors stay happy, and you can push timing that would destroy the motor on pump gas alone. But here's the catch. Don't cheap out on the system. Poor atomization or inconsistent flow can cause lean conditions that'll hold pistons faster than bad Chinese takeout. Quality systems aren't cheap, but they're the difference between reliable power and catastrophic failure. Methanol injection works through the cooling effect of alcohol evaporation. As the methanol evaporates in the intake tract, it absorbs massive amounts of heat, dropping intake temperatures by 50-100 degrees Fahrenheit. This cooling effect continues inside the combustion chamber, preventing detonation and allowing more aggressive tuning. System reliability is everything. Failed injection nozzles, clogged lines, or empty tanks can quickly lead to detonation when your tune expects the cooling effect. Quality systems include low-level warnings, progressive injection controllers, and fail-safe features that pull timing if methanol flow is interrupted. Don't trust your engine to a basic on-off system. That was intense, but nothing, and I mean nothing, compares to our number one secret. Secret number one, E85 racing fuel calibration. This is the holy grail that separates backyard builds from professional race motors. ECU calibration specifically for E85 ethanol creates power gains that'll make you question everything you thought you knew about engines. E85 has an octane rating around 105, enabling timing advance and boost levels impossible with pump gas. The alcohol content provides massive internal cooling, reducing knock tendency, and allowing compression ratios that would self-destruct on 91 octane. The power gains are absolutely staggering. Turbocharged engines commonly see 40–60% power increases with proper E85 tuning. But here's the kicker. Your fuel system needs a complete overhaul. E85 requires 30–40% more fuel volume than gasoline, alcohol-compatible lines, bigger injectors, and professional tuning that costs serious money. Quality components from manufacturers like Aeromotive or Fuel Injector Clinic aren't cheap, but they're mandatory for reliability. This modification creates the most dramatic performance improvements possible, while requiring supporting mods that cost more than most people's cars. It's the ultimate mod that transforms good builds into absolute monsters. E85 availability varies by region, so you need backup tuning for pump gas when E85 isn't available. Flex fuel sensors and adaptive tuning allow the ECU to adjust automatically based on ethanol content, but this adds complexity and cost. Many racers run dedicated E85 setups and trailer their cars to events. The corrosive nature of ethanol demands upgraded fuel system components. Rubber lines deteriorate, fuel pumps fail, and injectors clog if they're not designed for alcohol fuels. Every component from the tank to the injectors needs to be ethanol compatible, or you'll be replacing parts constantly while chasing fuel delivery problems. Aside from secret car mods that can make your engine better, did you know there are buttons and features inside your own car that can save you thousands in car repairs? Click this video to know those car features.